Well, let's find out a little bit more about what the future holds for graduates this year and graduates of the future. I'm glad to say we've got Wes Streeting, who's the president of the NUS, also Dan Hawes, who's co-founder of the Graduate Recruitment Bureau. Wes, to you first of all, what do you think of Student Gems as an idea?
I think it's a great idea. I think students out there have got an awful lot of skills that many people would benefit from, and I think it's a really novel way to get those two groups of people matched up.
Let's talk about student debt. Can you put a figure on how bad it's got for students this year?
Well, for undergraduates that are now in England paying £3,000 a year, we estimate that debt to be in the region of £20,000 or more. So it's a significant investment that individual students and their families are making to the cost of higher education.
How do you feel about students having to work through university? It's nowadays, I would imagine most students do some work, even if it's just in their holidays.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily a bad thing because you pick up skills and experience that would stand you well in later life when looking for a job. The real problem comes in when students are working not so part-time hours. We know that through research with the TUC that students from poorer backgrounds are working longer hours in lower paid jobs. So for those students who are actually doing significant amounts of work, there's a real concern about the impact that has on students' course and their experience and their academic qualifications.
Yes, I can imagine. Let's bring Dan in for a moment. Dan Hawes, Graduate Recruitment Bureau. Dan, you actually have a connection with Student Gems, don't you?
We do, yes. We heard about them about a year ago, and we decided to advertise with them, because we ourselves actually hire students to work on campus for us to spread the word about my company. So yeah, very pleased to learn that they started out.
So what's your advice to a student who's perhaps at university now or about to start about staying solvent, but also being able to stand out from the masses when they come to the end of their degree and they want to get a good job?
Well, it's all important because you need to start out with a good CV. So having work experience whilst you're being at university is very important. But also hundreds of thousands of graduates will leave this summer. So in terms of finding a job, you've got to do as much as possible. Use the internet, that's fantastic. Use recruitment agencies, use newspapers, and speak to your parents and try and network with friends.
What if you don't know what you want to do? Do you just grab any job and hope for the best?
It's ideally, if you can plan, you've got some objective, that helps. But if you don't, just throw yourself into the job market, and maybe by the second or third job, you'll know what you want to do.
Great stuff. Thank you very much indeed, gentlemen, for your advice this morning. We're going to hear more from both of these guys throughout the morning. We're also going to hear from some of the graduates this year who are taking their ceremonies and graduating at Birmingham today and throughout the rest of the week. And we'd love to hear from you if you've got any ideas on how to stay solvent at university.